So, I know we've all been eagerly awaiting for news about BattleBit's next big update. The last major update to the game was quite some time ago now, adding the RPK-16, the Outskirts map, and the Invasion game mode to the game back in early December. Yeah, okay, look, it wasn't actually that long ago now, but the silly season does tend to make things fly by at warp speed, so yeah, it feels like it's been a while. But nonetheless, we have started to hear a lot about BattleBit's next major game update, which, if my understanding is anything to go by, is slated to release in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And this one is set to be one of the biggest the game has ever seen. So, g'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today folks, we're going to talk about the prospective update 2.2.5 for BattleBit. And get strapped in, because this is a big one. Alright, there is a lot to dive into in this one, guys, and I just want to get what is clearly going to be the big headlining element of this update out of the way nice and early here, because I also know that this is a big ticket item for a lot of you out there as well. The sound update. The developers have been talking about looking into the game's audio design for a very long time now, dating all the way back to the release of the game to early access. And based on what we've heard so far, it sounded like the developers wanted to make a sweeping change across the board to the game's audio from top to bottom. Everything from the weapon audio to the footsteps and environmental audio, everything that's in the game essentially, they wanted to do audio updates to. And now, it kind of sounds like those updates are finally on the way. And while we haven't actually, heard much of these updates in their material form and what they actually sound like yet, we know that the scope of this update includes all weapon, vehicle, and environmental audio in the game, which in of itself includes things like bullet whizzing effects and footsteps. In addition, sound occlusion is being added to the game, which I believe will add some additional depth to the game's soundscape overall. It sounds like a pretty major overhaul already, right? Well, I wasn't quite aware of just how deep the scope of this audio update actually goes into when it comes to the detail of said update, because BattleBit's new community manager, Terminal Intel, dropped some extra info about the update on the BattleBit Remastered Reddit, in which Terminal confirmed that the game is now going to go from having approximately 8 sounds per weapon to about 200 sounds per weapon. That is an insane shift in quality in what the game's audio design is bringing to the table with one update. And that cannot be understated here today, because that is an insane improvement of quality right there. Also, it has to be said just for a moment, folks, that a big congratulations is in order for Terminal Intel for his appointment of Community Manager for the BattleBit Remastered team. He's been a long-standing member of the BattleBit Remastered community, and I know he's going to absolutely smash it in his new role here. So once again, congratulations are in order. But yet, once again, that's an insane degree of change coming to the sound design, and if that's the taste of what we should be expecting as far as the depth of this update is concerned, I have a sneaking suspicion that we have a lot to look forward to here. Given that the game is currently, I believe, using Unity Engine store-bought audio assets for its audio design, BattleBit is going to feel like an incredibly different game when these audio updates come out. I'll be dropping a video comparing a lot of the sounds of the game once the update drops, so be sure to get subscribed for that if you're keen for that coverage coming soon. Anyway, moving on, one of my big ticket items for things that I wanted to see BattleBit work on in 2024 was the game's long-term progression, mainly giving veteran players more things to do, work towards, and grind out as they continue to reach the later stages of the game. And folks, it sounds like those prayers have been answered. The developers have confirmed that they are hard at work on some back-end work that will allow them to track additional stats and action items, which in turn allows them to use these trackable stats to create new unlockables and challenges for players to aim for over time. I'm not entirely sure of what these trackable stats are exactly, but we have started to get some glimpses of what the unlockables are going to be as a result of this work, and how the developers are intending to incentivize that long-term grind. And with that, introducing unlockable cosmetics for weapon attachments, weapon charms, and new grindable weapon cosmetics such as ghillie suits. The developers have been hard at work adding additional cosmetics to attachments and weapons that will give players more ways to really personalize their kits, and in some ways express a degree of proficiency within a certain element of the game. This certainly gives your completionists out there a lot more to push towards on top of the game's already deep camouflage system, which is certainly going to scratch an itch for those who are looking for more to work towards in BattleBit. And I've just got to say, these ghillie suit, weapon, and attachment cosmetics deserve some real special actual highlights here in my view, these look absolutely outstanding, even in the low poly visual style of BattleBit Remastered, which I would have expected to be quite a difficult task here. Not saying that it wasn't, just saying that if it was, they've done a great job at executing here, because these skins, or these cosmetics I guess, look fantastic here. So again, a big probs to whoever worked on these cosmetics. More stuff like this coming to the game that will give players more cosmetics and long-term goals to work towards are some great steps in the right direction for BattleBit's longevity in my view. So all in all, this update is really shaping up to address some of the big gaps that is in BattleBit's offering as it stands right now, which I must be honest, I'm very proud of the developers for doing here. If I can get my, pseudo father figure cap on for a moment here. There was certainly a bit of, let's say uncertainty around the direction of BattleBit for some time late last year. That uncertainty is actually what spawned my BattleBit Identity Crisis video that we also made late last year. If you're interested in that, you can check it out in the top right-hand corner of your screen now. But nonetheless, it sounds like the developers have stayed the course and are intending to fix core issues with BattleBit's game design as BattleBit currently plays right now, rather than looking to make sweeping changes to BattleBit that push it towards a different product entirely, if you will. Which, if I'm being completely honest, is a bit of a relief to me as a player who enjoys BattleBit as it currently stands, and would quite frankly hate it if the game became an outright milsim 24/7, because that was the risk that I think we were playing with at one point there. Anyway, back to the contents of Update 2.2.5, the long-term progression of the game is not the only thing on the developers' minds. The more casual of you out there will be ecstatic to hear that more short-term incentives and rewards are about to come to BattleBit in the form of a Battlefield 4 style ribbon system. Now, this was discussed a little in the latest devcast that I didn't get around to seeing, thanks Aussie time zones, but if my understanding is correct, these will be awards that you can earn somewhat quickly in the game for completing X amount of tasks during a single match. Things such as healing, revives, resupplying, kills from a certain weapon or a certain vehicle category, stuff like that. Again, if you've played a Battlefield game in the last 10 or so years, you'll be pretty familiar with this concept, and this to me sounds like a great addition to the game. The best part about a ribbon system like this is that it offers bonuses and just passive rewards to players for playing the game the way that they want to. We've obviously got the weekly challenges in the game right now that aims to give players some goals to pursue over a weekly period, most of which will take players multiple sessions to complete. But in addition, these weekly challenges will also tend to force players out of their comfort zone and to try or use new playstyles that they may not otherwise do. So these ribbons are likely to act as cool, in the moment, trackable rewards for players to earn just by passively playing the game as they normally would. It means that if you don't want to do the weekly missions and you just want to hang out as a medic on the battlefield doing your thing, guess what? You're going to get bonus rewards for doing so, and that is a big step in the right direction there. Overall, there's a lot to be liking here with what's coming for BattleBit in its next major game update. Given that a lot of this stuff is what I talked about in my 2024 wishlist video for the game as well, yeah, naturally, I'm pretty happy with what's happening here as well. As a closing to this video though, I also want to quickly reflect on the update schedule that the developers intend to stick to in 2024, because I think there's also some great steps being taken here as well to ensure that the quality and polish of the updates that come out in this year remain top notch as well. Something that I think we as a community got quite used to, especially in BattleBit's earlier days after it came out in early access, was the weekly updates. And while yes, this did bring out a steady stream of new content and stuff for us to do and balance changes to the game that overall I think made it a lot better, yeah, it's clear the developers were not able to maintain this pace and it was going to do a number on them sooner rather than later. So the fact that there's been some reflection on that and some active decision making made to step back a little bit and make sure that the quality of the updates is, more important than the pace of the updates does also give me a lot of hope for this game's future. And with this change in mentality, I hope the developers can make each and every update a bit more impactful to both incentivize new players to come play the game, but also entice old players to come back after, having taken some time away as well. 2024 is going to be a massive year for BattleBit Remastered, and if this update that is on the horizon is anything to go by, I've got a feeling that we've got a lot to look forward to, assuming the developers can stay the course, and it sounds like they're doing a good job so far. But that's everything from me for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please backhand the like button as it does go a long way to supporting the channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing as I'd greatly appreciate it, and you guys get to stay up to date with all of our content for BattleBit and also some Escape from Tarkov stuff coming real soon as well, which I know a lot of you guys enjoy too. So so we'll see how that goes. And also come check out our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/kamikaze78, linked in the description down below. It'd be great to have you guys over on the live streams as well. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.